Peace, peace, peace. Just want to come back with another video right quick. Yeah, that's kind of something I was talking about the fall with the video. I talked about shame the other day. Um, yeah, because it's like I kind of talked about it the other day. Actually, matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, hold on, because I was yeah, I was just saying reading Proverbs 18 real quick. Just read it. Kind of want to go over some things. Um. Yeah, man, because a lot of times I was talking about last weekend I was talking about with somebody, um, with how it's okay to be ashamed, and I touched on this, different different ways, different things of shame, because even in the scripture, you know, because that's what we are talking about, but yeah, I was going into the scripture of you know of how it was in Sirach chapter 4 verse 21. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame that burn which is glory and grace. So yeah, man, I was kind of going into that. Yeah, now I'm just saying I'm just reading Proverbs 18:3, and it went to and it goes, this is in the Good News translation. Sin and shame go together. Lose your honor and you'll get scorned in its place. So yeah, this shame is different from y'all can watch the first part of this of the Dead About Shame, because he's talking about how it is, how we shouldn't it's okay to feel shame, but it's different types of shame. The shame that's okay to feel is like the one the one I in the latter part of Sirach chapter 4 verse 21. It says, for there's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame that which is glory and grace. So yeah, that's the shame. Being shamefaced is being humble, humility, meekness. So that's a shame that's okay to feel. And also too, to to a degree, the shame. But let me get this too. The sin and shame. Let me read this Proverbs 18:3. And the Good News, it says, sin and shame go together. Lose your honor, and you will get scorned in this place. So yeah, man, that shame. That shame is the one that goes into not being ashamed. I mean, of sinning. Transgression. That's like, don't even care, because I think I'm somewhere in Sirach says the rich have no sin, pretty much. But that's the shame that you that we don't want. That we don't want. I don't want that. Y'all don't want that. Even Psalms, David said, "Keep me away from presumptuous sin." There's a shame that comes that, because you should be ashamed. But yeah, man. But just because you'll lose your honor if you kind of say you lose your honor, with the Lord, and and Most High Yahushua, when with that shame being being shameless, which I touched on in the last video I did about this, man, because I just want to kind of go into that a little bit, because I just wanted to do a quick video about that, man, because this is that's too, that's key too about words too, because they can have I was talking about this to somebody a while back, a month ago or so ago. It's like they can have the same word but have different meanings, but I might touch on that in the in the near future with Lord's will, but they could have the same word but different meanings, man. It's just that's just even in the scripture sometimes it's the shame. It's the same opposite shame. It's the same thing sometimes, same word but different meanings. But could be powerful, but it's just going into different things, man. Because but yeah, man, I want to go too off topic with that, but yeah, man, it's just the fact that there's a yeah, man, that sin and shame go together, man, because that shame is when constantly that you should be there's a shame that comes to that, man. So, you know, even in this, even in Ecclesiastes and Sirach, he goes on to talk about Solomon, because he was very influenced by Solomon, man. Sirach was, and he said, listen, he kind of lost some of it when Solomon during Solomon's fall, when he did what he did, he kind of lost his honor. Actually, let me just grab that. It kind of ties into the video I just did about that, actual facts, not trying to spend, uh, you know, um, narratives about something. Sometimes the things are just actual facts. It's just not that. Sometimes it's you kind of. I'm on sidebar too quick, because it's just things you just can't deny. Sometimes it's just actual facts, man. Because and that kind of ties into shame, because Yeah, because it's like we read about these men, our forefathers, the prophets, the men and their mistakes, man. But it was written for our learning, man. And sometimes too, you gotta realize that, like sometimes people might tell me about the things I did in past, but I can't be like, oh, all right, come on, no, man. Now I look back at it, like I was like, even me, because when I was a child, man, I did a lot of bad stuff, man. Even early 20s, and even now, man, I do. I still make a lot of mistakes. I still make a lot of mistakes, but now, like hearing the stories I did, because I was talking about with my mother, she what the hell? What's wrong with the screen? Anyway, my mother about things I did in the past. It's like, yeah, now it really was a shame, but it was good that like you know that, and now I could even accept it more, man, because it's just like yeah, I did those things. I'm actually ashamed of it now, looking back at it, especially a lot of things I did, especially when I was a child. You know, I look back at it now and I'm ashamed, but because now me working with you now, I see that as like, dang, well, I don't want to get too off topic, but the same thing. Not even the kind of similar to the us and us reading the scriptures, man. It's just like, yeah, we read about how Moses' mistakes, David's mistakes, Solomon's mistakes, man. But we learn from it, man. But then, oh my gosh, it's like about to go out. Okay, anyway, hopefully this don't go out. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't go out. But yeah, yeah. We learn about those things, man. But you know, they're not mad about it. It's like, okay, yeah, I did these things. It was written for our learning, man. But it kind of goes into that. I'm pretty sure they felt shame, but they still repenting, man. So, yeah. But anyway, it kind of ties into hand in hand. So, yeah, because shoot, even Second Samuel 12, when Nathan said to David, he said, "Thou art the man." David was like, "Yeah." So he felt ashamed of what he did, and David repented all his life. But let me go to this point about what Sirach said about Solomon, because it kind of ties into what I what I mentioned about what I mentioned even in the last video I just did about actual facts, and not just spinning narratives, stuff like that, because we live in that type of narrative driven world. Not things are just actual facts. A lot of times. So, but anyway, let's get this. And also too, but this kind of goes into like losing your honor, lining up with that. What Sirach said about Solomon. Okay, where is it? Yeah, okay, yep, here it is. Yep. Because let me read Proverbs 18:3 one more time. Then then I'm gonna get this in Sirach. It says, Proverbs 18:3, sin and shame go together. Lose your honor and you will get scorned in its place. Yeah, let's get Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter um uh uh 47 verse no, because it's talking about Solomon, but uh yeah, I'll just start verse 19 because it's starting at Solomon. Yeah, because if you read on to verse 12, 13, it's talking about Solomon. But yeah, let's get this Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and verse 20. I know I might use this one for the next. But yeah, I might use. Okay, anyway, all right. Ecclesiastes chapter also known as Sirach chapter 19 verse. Chapter 47, verse 19. It says, "Thou didst bow thy loins unto women, and by thy body thou wast brought into subjection. Thou didst stain thine honor and pollute thy seed, so that thou broughtest up wrath upon thy children, and was grieved for folly." So yeah, man. So that's just talking. Then we just read about that shame. How you lose your honor with certain things, that sin. And Sirach just said it about Solomon. I'm gonna read this again, 19:20 again. Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach chapter 47, verse 19. It says, "Thou didst bow thy loins unto women, and by thy body thou wast brought into subjection. Thou didst stain thy honor and pollute thy seed, so that thou broughtest wrath upon thy children, and was grieved for thy folly." So yeah, man. So that's how Solomon kind of lost his honor, but he later repented. But and actually the Proverbs, what we just read, that's him going into his experiences, man. So that's him going to his life experiences with things that he went through. That shame. I'm sure, like, he felt ashamed with a lot of the things that he did. Just as myself and all of our other forefathers and the prophets and y'all brothers and sisters out there, man. So, yeah, man, that's what it is, man. And yeah, man, it's actually you know, it's actually in Sirach 42, I think, 43 tells you if you read it, tells you things to be ashamed by, man. Too, y'all can read that for yourselves. But yeah, man, hopefully this is edifying, man, because I kind of wanted to touch on this in the I'm actually gonna read this again too. But yeah, man, hopefully this is edifying, man. So peace.